Hello and welcome to Guided Meditation and Mindful Movement with Leo Gray for Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. Visit us on the web at urbanyoga.org or on Facebook at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. Stop by and check out the schedule. Visit the tip donations support these online classes. There's another yogi joining us. Right as we're starting, that's great. So we'll start out today in a reclined posture. You could choose this one I'm in with soles of the feet together, knees splayed out, and the option of having props under your knees if you like. If this isn't comfortable, you could rest the soles of your feet on the mat, let the knees lean towards each other, extend your legs down along the floor, or scoot over by the wall or the couch and elevate your legs. Any posture where you're comfortable is fine. We'll start just by focusing in and doing a bit of guided meditation. So get comfortable, whatever that looks like. Close your eyes if you want. Rest your hands where you want. And observe your breath. This is where we pretty much always start. Just focusing on the breath invites it to get deeper and slower, which in turn helps the body relax, which helps the mind relax. Tapping into the interconnectedness of these things, that's feedback loops, the physical and the mental, the emotional, the breath and the movement, the body and the space it's in, taking in your surroundings in whatever ways they're reaching any of your senses. And scanning your body to take in whatever physical sensations are there. Especially noting any sensation you'd label as negative or unwanted, like soreness or stiffness, so that when we get to the movement part of practice, you can remember to skip or modify whatever you want to, especially if it's to take care of some discomfort in the body. And this leads us into today's meditation segment. It doesn't serve us to get upset, mad, impatient, worried about whatever issues are going on in the body. We can look at different aspects of ourselves or different parts of the body, but the reality is each rectangle on Zoom here, each mat in today's practice just has one being on it. And that being is a totality, physical, mental, spiritual. The unwanted sensations and the ones we enjoy. It's all one package. And today I'm hearkening back to a class, a practice led by my mentor, Mary Thomas, up in Boston when I was in my yoga teacher training. This was not part of the training, it just happened during that time. Mary used to do a wonderful, just one class a week she was doing, 90 minutes. It was called Soul Sanctuary. And without getting too far into how wonderful Mary is or our history or whatever, the class would often include not only movement practice, of course, but some meditation, some mantra, various things, sometimes Sanskrit, sometimes English. And I gotta say, the most impeccable playlist for any yoga teacher I've ever experienced. Mary spent as much time curating the playlist for the class as she did the movement sequence. But anyway, today's focus is self-love. And we talked the other day about compassion and acceptance of self. And I don't have a recording or a written script of what Mary did. This was back in 2016 that I experienced this wonderful class. But I remember portions of it and I'll fill in as I can. She had a wonderful way of rhyming a lot of the things, some of which I retained, but you'll get the general idea of it. And of course, as we go through what I'm saying to myself, if you want to change it, to reword it, or pick something else to focus on each line, you can substitute whatever you want, just as you skip or modify portions of a movement practice to suit yourself. You can skip or modify parts of the affirmation. And everyone who's here on Zoom is someone known to me. We've done a lot of practices together, and I have a gauge on how this will be received. So this is a disclaimer for folks on YouTube that I'm gonna swear, I'm gonna curse as part of this loving and positive affirmation, because it's part of the way that I receive this as a student and part of the way it stays in my mind and my heart. And, well, you can edit out the cursing for yourself if you don't wanna recite that. So it goes like this. And this is something we say to ourselves. So you can, if you practice this again later, you might try practicing in the mirror. Look in the mirror, look yourself in the eye as you say things like this. So there's sort of a refrain to it, like a chorus. I love you. I love all of you. I love every fucking thing about you. I love your dimples. I love your pimples. I love your moles. I love your rolls. Every hair, every wrinkle, every scar, every bone, every muscle, every joint. I love you. I love all of you. I love every fucking thing about you. Every thought, every feeling, every breath. I love you. I love all of you. I love every fucking thing about you. Every win, every loss, every memory, every forgetting, every step, every stumble, every fall, and every save. I love you. I love all of you. I love every fucking thing about you. And maybe you just want to, I invite you if you want to, take a minute to say some other loving things to yourself. Maybe tune into some things that by default you don't love, maybe things that bother you, maybe things I hate such and such about myself. And just turn that around. And even if you don't feel it, you can say it. There's a cutesy phrase people use sometimes. They say, fake it till you make it. And sometimes saying the words that we don't feel yet and doing this repeatedly can help turn around the feeling. And it's interesting, things we say out loud have a different impact than things we just say silently in our head too. There's a difference there. It's a different energy hearing our own voice saying something rather than just those thoughts, that internal listen. I'll share that at the time that I heard this practice from my beloved friend and mentor, Mary, that, well, there was a lot going on. And if you talk to some yoga teachers, you may find that that's a common experience, that as we come to teacher training and go through teacher training, or even as a practitioner simply exploring practice, that sometimes we stir things up, shake things up, and uncover, discover, recover from various things in the past. So learning can be difficult, can be trying. There can be growing pains. It's been said that pain is the touchstone of all spiritual growth. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, I don't know. But sometimes growth hurts. I found using just the 3 repeated lines of this affirmation, I love you, I love all of you, I love every fucking thing about you. That was something that I incorporated in daily practice, starting the day that I first heard this class as a student. And I continued for years every single day to use that. And I don't know when I stopped. I don't remember deciding to stop. It just at some point tapered off and slipped out of my practice. I bring it back in sometimes when I'm in bad space and I need it, frankly. That's what works for me. So you can take this part of practice to go and carry it off the mat with you as you like. Maybe that's daily, maybe that's as needed, maybe it's more random, maybe it's not at all. Maybe this doesn't resonate with you. That's okay. I'll repeat those 3 lines one more time, and then we'll get to our movement practice. I love you. I love all of you. I love every fucking thing about you. Now let's share 3 deep cleansing breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth with a sigh. Now, if you have your legs and your feet positioned the way I do, with the feet together and knees out, let your arms help your legs. Lift your knees towards each other. Let's all meet here, soles of the feet resting on the floor. If you had props here, holding up your legs, move those out of the way. Now let's take an energizing twist, a pair of energizing twists to get us moving. Cross your left ankle above your right knee. Reach your arms out to the sides with your palms facing up. And letting your shoulders stay grounded. Let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left. And let's remember as we go through practice to just accept ourselves as we are. Take the practice as it comes. For example, here, just let your legs hang, don't push them down. Feels so much better to invite the body to do things than to order it around and force it. Mindful movement, that's part of the name of the class. So let's be mindful and gentle and all that. Loving towards ourselves. Slowly come back up through center. Cross your legs the opposite way. And when you're ready, start to twist the opposite way. One side might twist more easily, go further than the other side. That's okay. We don't need to make them be equal. Come back up to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees in, hug your knees. Rock side to side, or maybe roll in circles. See what feels good on your back. And let's take a few full body stretches. Inhale, extend your arms and legs all the way out. As you exhale, curl up again. Use that whole inhale to lengthen. Use the whole exhale to curl up. I love the funny sounds that come from the body sometimes, the joints cracking or creaking. Some of us were chatting about this after a class the other day. I picked up from some teacher years ago the term joint crispies, like Rice Krispies. A new student was saying this on Thursday. So when I roll my neck in circles, is it supposed to sound like Rice Krispies? And let's start to sit up. At the end of your next exhale, you can hold your legs and rock front to back like that. Or you can tip onto one side and press your hands to the floor and come up like this. Find a comfortable sitting or kneeling position for yourself. Let your arms hang loosely by your sides. Lift your left shoulder up and slide it back and let it down. And your right shoulder up, back, and down. And let's check out the joint crispy side. Let your chin go down towards your chest. Slowly roll your ear towards your shoulder and let your head tip back. Let the shoulders stay slack over towards the other shoulder. And it's okay if your neck doesn't make funny sounds, by the way. Happens for some of us. And it's okay if you find a particularly tight spot to pause, making circles to explore the tight spot, rock back and forth. And try to open things up there. Now let's change direction. And when you finish the next circle, lift your chin and just face forward. Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides. Exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. If you want, you can take eagle arms. I'm just going to go with the shoulder blades here. If you take eagle arms, reach forward and up with your elbows and your hands. On an inhale, open up. And as you exhale, cross them the opposite way. Have some more deep breaths. Inhale, open up. Exhale, arms down. Let your fingertips rest on the floor. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Exhale, reach across to the right. So this happened Wednesday night when I was doing class from my terrace outside. My hand goes out of the video frame. I did it again, setting up the computer. Maybe a little close. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, come into a twist. Left hand behind you, right hand on your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. So as when I noticed this on Wednesday, I'll share again here. That this self-love and self-acceptance stuff, as already mentioned, it's not just about what we do on the mat. We can take it into any part of our lives. So it's not just for practice. It can be about where you set up your camera or how a particular video went. You can use it when you're running late for something, or you forget something, or drop something. Let yourself unwind. Laughing at yourself is a great tool. You use it a lot. Inhale, raise your right arm up. And exhale, reach across to your left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come into a twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Let yourself unwind, come through center. Rest your hand on your thighs or your knees. Do some seated cow and cat movements. Inhale, bring your heart forward and let your head go back. Exhale, bring your heart back, let your head come forward and down. Continuing with the pace of your own breath. And after the next exhale, sit up. Now let's go to the ankles and hips. So lift the leg. I'm just taking the one in front, doesn't matter which one we start with. With the opposite hand, grab your toes. So I'm interlacing fingers and toes. If you kept your socks on, maybe your toes are cold, you could just wrap your hands over the top of your toes. Let your leg and your foot be limp. Let the arms and hands do the work of slowly, gently rolling the foot in circles to open the ankle. Now this is a great one for self-love. There's something about one body part supporting and helping another that is loving. And I didn't think of it when we were doing the opening the back of the heart with the hugging ourselves. But I remember at the beginning of the pandemic hearing this factoid in some radio news piece. Let's change direction. And the little factoid I heard was that some study had learned that or discovered that your brain releases a lot of the same chemicals when you hug yourself as it does when somebody else hugs you. So when everybody was very scared and less was known about what was safe and not everybody, many people were being super safe and careful. They were talking on the radio about the benefits of hugging yourself because you couldn't hug somebody else. Release your toes, support your leg with both arms, both hands. This grip works for me, but whatever grip works for you, slowly and gently. Let's explore the hip, rocking the femur in the hip socket. So just as much movement as that joint is ready for. And maybe with the repetitions, that's more movement. And change direction. So even if you're not thinking it, I guess the message here is the arms are saying to the leg, I love you. Right? The hand was saying to the foot. And let's let that leg down. Lift the other one. Hit the toes. And slowly and gently make circles for your ankle. Change direction. Release your toes, support the weight of the entire leg, and check out those hip circles. And take a few in the other direction. And let the leg gently down. Take your time to come up onto your hands and knees. Reach back and press into the ball of your right foot for a couple breaths. Relax the pressure on your foot and bring it out to the side, maybe in line with your hip here. It's okay if it doesn't come as far forward as your hip. Just let the foot rest how it wants to land. Sometimes my foot flattens to the floor and sometimes it's more the inner edge of the foot, and it doesn't matter, just let your foot do what it wants to. Exhale, sit back a little towards your left heel. Inhale, come forward again. Be particularly mindful of the sensation here, the inner thigh on the extended right leg. That's a good telltale, let you know if you're starting to go too far. Remember, pain is an important signal from the body. Back away from anything that hurts. Gently probing against resistance to loosen things up is okay. And next time you rock forward, pause. You gotta move some things here. Okay, now walk your hands further out. So in the upper body, this is like downward dog. Arms out like this, let your head come down between your arms. Walk your hands to the left, about a foot. And then send the left hip 2 inches towards the left heel. Press your hands against the floor. So it's a lot of stretching. It's kind of an involved shape. It's not a lot of movement. And slowly walk your hands back to center. And then back in, under the shoulders, or in closer. You don't have to go under your shoulders if that's too much under wrists. Swing your leg back to center. And bring the right knee down. Take a few cow and cat breaths. After the next exhale, come back to the table. Reach back and press into the ball of your left foot. Ease off a bit and slide that foot out to the side. When you're ready, exhale, sit back a little. Inhale, come forward. And here I've just learned that I was having an issue with my hip on this side and lower back, and I thought as of 2-3 days ago it had gone away, but this hip just told me otherwise. So I'm making much smaller movements for this side, just heeding what the left hip is telling me. I still love that hip. And I love that my body tells me to be careful, to not go too far. Now let's walk our hands forward. Let the neck release. Walk your hands to the right. And press away from the floor, send the right hip back just a little. Walk your hands back to center line. Back in, under your shoulders. Slide your foot back, center, let your knee down. Take some cow and cat breaths again. I'm curling my toes under for cow. and releasing them at calf because during that last sequence, I started to have a cramp in my right calf. I just share that because it did something that I hadn't described before I did it or as I did it. And maybe you just want to stretch your calves too on these cow calves. Now let's take a child's pose, just sort of a check-in. Bring your toes to touch. If you want, open your knees wider. Sit back towards your heels. Let your head come down to the mat or to rest on something else. Observe your breath and scan your body. If you like, send some loving affirmation out loud or in your mind. Everyone's muted but me, no one's going to hear you. Inhale, come forward and up to table. And make your way to a seat, however you want to get. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Let your knees bend as needed. When you inhale, think of coming forward. When you exhale, think of lowering. Inhale and walk your hands up your legs and sit up. Use your arms to nudge your legs apart, just as far as it's okay in your body right now. Only you know where that is. Walk your hands down your legs, or rest your hands at center and walk them forward. Whatever's better for you. Inhaling, walk your hands back and lift your torso. Keep letting your arms help your leg. Bend your right leg, bring your right foot to your left thigh or near your left knee. Pivot your torso, your sternum at left foot. Flex your left foot towards you. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down. Reach your right arm out to the side and then up alongside your ear. So your right hand comes overhead towards your left hand. Just allow your head to be wherever your neck feels okay, whatever's comfortable, your neck. Slowly reach up and out to the right again. Bring your right hand to your left hand. Inhaling, walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Using your arms to help, extend the right leg, bend the left, bring the foot across. Pivot your torso and flex your right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Open your left arm way out to the left and reach it up alongside your head towards the right leg. Reach back up, back out to the side, and bring the left hand to the right hand. Inhaling, walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Using your arms, extend the left leg. And then bend the right. Now bring the soles of your feet together. Leave a big space between your pelvis and your heels. And you can reach under or over your ankles and walk your hands forward. Letting your neck disengage and breathing into your back or any place that feels tight. And yes, you can love the tight spots. You can thank them for letting you know where to direct the breath. Slowly walk your hands back and sit yourself up. Keep your feet together and draw your heels in towards your pelvis. Interlace your fingers, hold your toes between your hands, and then wriggle, shift the bones in your seat closer to the floor to tilt your pelvis forward to open the front of your hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips with a long spine. And just see how far that might go. Doesn't matter how far it goes. And whenever you're not folding forward from the hips anymore, you can just let your head drop and breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. As we did earlier with the knees like this, use your arms to lift them towards each other. Bring your hands behind you. Wiggle your feet out by the edges of the mat, leaning on your hands. Let your knees go to one side, then turn your head to the other. Come back to center, go the other way. Take that a few times for each side. Then bring your feet in, hip width apart. Come down onto your back. Feet planted, heels close to your butt. If you like, place a block between your knees on the middle position. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up to bridge. If you want the deeper heart opener here, clasp your hands. Reach towards your heels. Wriggle your shoulder blades towards the spine. If you've taken the bind, let your hands go. Exhale, release your hips down. Explore, bridge however you like, floating up and down at your own pace. And let's take supported bridge, pause with your hips lifted. Place a prop at the base of your spine, come down to rest on it, and then let the prop do the work. Press into your hips. Inhale, lift your hips up off the prop. Slide it out of there. Exhale slowly, lower down. Taking a pause just to reground for a moment. And move the props out of the way. Draw your knees to your chest, hug your knees. Rock and roll to massage your back against the ground. Now let's take a nice gentle twist. Reach your arms out to the sides, palms up. Now I say gentle twist, but you can decide how deep it's going to feel. If you bring your knees closer to your torso, the twist feels deeper. So you just decide where your knees are going to be. Letting your shoulders stay grounded. Let your legs go to the left and turn your head to the right. As we did earlier, letting the legs hang, letting the breath bring you out. No goal or destination in mind for how much twist. And bring everything up through center. Just let the movement continue to come into the opposite twist. Come on up to center. Reach your feet up. Reach your hands up to hold onto your legs or feet, however you like. And move those arms and legs however you like. And then for as long as you like, whenever you feel complete, make your way to your final resting pose, which doesn't have to be the traditional corpse pose, Shavasana. Any comfortable position is fine. It's more important to be comfortable than to be in any particular posture. Close your eyes if you like. And just take a moment to decide if you want to focus on your breath or focus on something else, maybe affirmations, or just give yourself permission not to specifically focus. Give yourself some deeper breaths. Oh, while I was in Shavasana, a frog climbed into my throat. Start to move around little by little. letting your movements gradually get bigger and bigger. Maybe taking a drink. Take your time when you're ready to gently sit up. And bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for sharing practice today. The light within me sees and bows to that same light within each of you. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.